Hey, so we're going to do the sulfuric acid and glucose reaction demo. Basically what's going to happen is we're going to pour some acid into sugar, and it's going to make this big black uh, stack of carbon. It's just going to kind of grow out of the thing, out of the beaker. It's pretty cool.
Our equipment we're going to be using is we're going to be using a 200 milliliter beaker along with a stir rod and obviously the sugar and sulfuric acid. We're going to need to wear full safety equipment because the sulfuric acid is very corrosive to the skin.
Like goggles and gloves.
And the beaker is we're going to pour the sugar into the beaker, and then we're going to use the stir rod to mix the sulfuric acid and the sugar solution together to kind of start the reaction up. And yeah.
So basically how it works on a macro level, like a general idea of how it works is, like I said before, you pour the acid into the beaker full of sugar, and it takes a little bit of time to react because you use a stirring rod, but then it separates the sugar molecule into kind of what it's made out of. We'll get to that soon, but and then the carbon becomes separated, and it forms this big black column. So basically what's happening is the decomposition of the sugar atoms, or the sugar molecule with the using the acid. The sugar is C12H22O11, and basically when you add them to the sugar and the sulfuric acid together, it splits apart the carbon, the water, or the H and the O into H2O, and the SO2, which is leftover acid from the sulfuric acid. And so you're left with just the 12 carbons from the beginning sugar molecule, the H2O and SO2.
As you can see from the equation up here, hydrogen, positive hydrogen is being added to this. This equation is very similar to the one you had on the test. And so what's going to be happening is we're going to be having byproducts, like as you can see the H2O coming off and the H plus coming off. The H2O is the water, and the H plus is the sulfuric oxide. So what this is the sulfuric acid going with the sugar, and you're seeing the byproducts released. And what it does is the sulfuric acid splits apart the sugar into just a carbon and water. But this is the actual splitting of the water and the sulfur oxide.